All right, people, this is something that happened to us today. I like the plan for it, but I thought, you know what, since it happened, I'll just take you along. This is a PS50 by Heatilator. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is what we have. This is what has happened here. I'm going to get a flashlight so you guys will be able to see a little better, so we don't sit here and go, oh, I couldn't see a thing, man. Now you can see what I'm talking about. So what we have here is unburned pellets, but the pot's half full. Okay? So what's going to cause that? Well, one of the things that's going to cause it is we don't have ignition. So the first thing we check is clinkers. Now clinkers are those little pieces of carbon that build up. Let me get this to stick on the inside here. See if I can do that. There we go. Those are pieces of carbon that build up underneath here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to check that first and see. Those little black rocks you see in there sometimes. They'll block the way so you can't, the igniter just can't do it. And if that's not the case, then we might have ourselves an igniter problem. We're going to check it out and see. All right, guys, well, I'm looking here. Let me get it up here. And I don't have anything. I got nothing. It's actually a lot cleaner than I would think. So, looks like we got ourselves an igniter issue. We're going to set up, get underneath there. I always keep extra ones here. Okay, I'll show you what the igniter looks like. I'm going to try it. Some of you are going to go, why are you acting like we don't know what we're doing? Because some people don't know what they're doing. Okay, so all of you that know what we're doing here, let the other ones catch up. This might be someone at home, first time looking at this stuff, and it's going to save them hundreds of dollars just knowing about this, okay? Now I'm going to show you where you can get this later in the video, okay? No, I'm not an affiliate, so you're not paying me anything. I'm just going to show you where I get them from, all right? Because I'm a single dad. I'm retired. I can't spend, $80, $90 on one of these bad boys, and they do go for that sometimes. Sometimes they do. If you have someone come to your home for something this simple, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. So let's get into it. I keep an extra one here. Order it when you don't need it. Then you have it when you do. And then you can order it again when you get a shot, because you won't need it. So here's the side of the stove. Here's the front. Okay. We're back here. Here's what we're looking for. We're going to be undoing this screw. This screw. All right. And then all the way down here, you'll see the last one right there. Okay, so 1, 2. Just stepping back so you can get an idea. First one's right up here. Second one's right down here. And the third one's all the way on the bottom. Okay. Okay. Now once we've got these off, we're going to be able to lift off the panels. Okay. Now even though it goes, without saying, we're going to have all kinds of the safety sallies come on and go, well, you failed to tell people about unplugging it. And so, guys, this is powered by electricity. Dinkeldorfs leave it plugged in and stick their hands in there. So, if you don't want to be shocked and you don't want to be a Dinkeldorf, don't leave it plugged in and don't stick your hands in there when it is plugged in, okay? There'll be all kinds of safety sally things. You forgot to tell them not to give the plastic bag to their children as a toy. Now, if you guys are going to do that, well, you're special people. But anyways, let's get to it now that all the safety sallies have been handled. There's 2 sets of wires, guys, okay, that are coming out. There's this set of wires and this set of wires, okay? One of them is a thermally insulated set. This one right here. One of them is a somewhat insulated set. These are the 2 sets of wires that go in. One goes to a thermocoupler, which is actually right down in there in the heat, which would mean we probably have that as a heavily insulated. And then you have one that's semi-insulated right here, because it doesn't really deal with too much heat. We're going to go around to the front and take a look at what we got here. Okay, so these are the ones. You see the ones that are heavy insulated right there. Those are our thermal coupler. See, they're the round. These are going to be a square, so we're going to pop them out. And I want to show you something. There's like a panic point for everybody here. How in the world do I know which one? How do I know which one? Don't have to worry about it. It doesn't matter, okay? So we're going to fish this back through those holes there, okay? So we got one through. And almost the second one. And the second one is through there, okay? Back to the other side. Okay, I'm trying to give you as good a footage as I can, so of course there'll be some, of those special people who are like, did you record this on a potato? So for those people, yes, I'm recording this on the Samsung potato phone, so get along with yourself. But right here, guys, right there is a wing nut. All right, I loosened it, and now we're going to pull that out. It's going to let get my arm in here. It's going to let an element come out. All right, like this. And what do we see there? What do we see there? I see a blown element. So let's look at our wiring so we can figure out what we got. Okay, this is not that heavy line. It's all wrapped. That's going to be up in here for the igniter. Right there, that bar sticking out. Right there. That's your igniter, okay? So that's what the other one, you can see the wires right there traveling out the back of it. That's what the heavy insulated ones are for, because they're actually here in the heat pot. The semi-insulated ones are for this, right here. Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to have to get this thing out of there. So we're going to disconnect it up at the front, and you'll see there's a hole right back there. You can see those wires that are going right there. That's these wires. We're going to go traveling through there. So back to the other side. Okay, so we got her out. Okay, we're just going to slide them back out. Those are our two wires right there. You saw us unplug. And they're attached here. Okay. I don't know. So the new one comes with a new kind of newfangled wing nut thing. I like this better. So we're going to keep this because it's, to me, a little bit nicer, easier to use. Okay, guys, my other wing nut wouldn't fit on there, so I'm going to have to use the one they did. So what we're going to do is, there's a sleeve right here. We're going to slide it in. Okay. All right, and there we are. We're slid in. And once you're there, then you're just going to crank this bad boy down. Now just do finger tight. Don't be any, crazy, nutty tightener. Just finger tight like that so that you don't have any issues here, okay? Nothing's coming loose anywhere, okay? So there you see it, finger tight. Now we're going to fish these wires back through there. We're going to have to hang them up over this little piece over there, right over here, to make sure they're not in the way of the drawer. There's a drawer that goes in here and catches all the ashes. All right, guys, so once we've got them fished, back out here, we're going to reattach them now. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Hang on here. Sorry, I gotta have two hands to do it. My apologies, but I'm only human. It's a downfall. Okay, so I've got them attached. All right, now before you go in, I'm going to I have them sitting up here now so they're not anywhere near the fan. But before I put all this back on there again, I'm going to wipe a few things down just to make sure I get, don't have too many dust bunnies anywhere. But I'm going to also test it now and see how it's going. I'll bring you along for the test. Okie doke. We're going to hit that reset, close the door, and see how we do here. Okay, we got pellets falling in. So we're all good there. Now we're going to go down below and see how we do with the element. Okay. Every time I hit that camera on there, it gets darker. This is what we're going to be looking at right here. Waiting to see a glow. Spoiler alert, I stuck my finger on the end right here. It was very unpleasant. So I'm going to go with, yeah, it's going to be working. But we're just going to wait for, you know, video purposes and make sure we show you a glow. Completed it. So that rod is just like it is on the bottom of your oven, okay? See, it's getting a really good glow now. So that rod gets hot. The pellets are there you go. You can start to see some of those pellets starting to ignite down there. Alright, it's getting really good and hot now. So there we go. Replacement of the igniter. Not too tough. And we're just waiting here because you'll start to see smoke coming out of there. It just tells you everything's working good. This is the pot we're looking at right now. It's so hard to get light arranged so you guys can see stuff without things getting messed up. And see, if I go like this, you're not going to get a good. Let's see if maybe that'll work for you. There, you can start to see some of the smoke coming out. That's your first sign that yes indeedy, and then we're looking for these little sparks. There we go. And now when I turn this off, what do you see? I see flame, which tells me that problem is officially cured. Now all you gotta do is put your tray back in, put your backs back on, and you're good to go, folks. So, Heatilator. This works on the Cab 50, the PS 50. This is a PS 50. I also have a Cab 50. So this is how you take care of replacing the igniter on both of those units. Alright guys, have a great one. Hopefully it helps somebody.